What's up, everybody? Welcome to the new show that we got going on, Dirt Road to Bright Lights. I'm your host, Mark, and tonight we got a good panel of prospect lovers tonight. We got one of our favorite guys here from the channel, Mr. Roman Rodriguez. Roman, how art thou?
I'm doing great, Mark. How you doing?
Oh, I'm living the dream, brother. I'm living the dream. We get to talk prospects all night long, so we're good to go. And some of the other guys we got with us, we got Nate. Nate, how's it going, brother?
It's going great. Going great. Got a busy week, but happy to talk about some baseball.
That's all we're here for, man. And Aiden, my man, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Oh, you catch it, man. You know what we're doing. We got prospects. We got baseball. We're rocking and rolling. So for everyone who's new to watching us here, obviously, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button for the channel. You'll catch us pretty much every Monday night from here on out. We are four guys, and then we'll be adding on others as well. We'll be talking prospects throughout every week, which is good, especially on Mondays, since this is the one day off of the week for prospects. So hit us up on all social medias. Let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know anything that you want us to kind of go down the road with. So with that being said, here's some of the big things that we've had this past year, which is something new in totality, I would say, since I've ever been watching baseball, is that we're getting prospects with little to no major league experience signing long-term extensions. We got Colt Emerson. He signed a 8-year, $95 million extension. Cooper Pratt, 8 years, $50 million change extension. Connor Griffin, 9 years, $140 million. And then you got Kevin McGonigal at 8 years, $150 million. Those guys are making bank at a young age, and we're talking young ages. I mean, a couple of them are still haven't like Colt Emerson, Cooper Pratt. They haven't even gotten into the big leagues yet. So this could be the going trend for the future for other organizations. But let's take it around the room. Aiden, tell me what you think and which one of those contracts really kind of shocked you when you heard about it.
I think 3 of them were expected. The only one that really shocks me is Cooper Pratt. Doesn't have the best stats in my opinion. I don't know. It feels like they're putting all their eggs in one basket with him. They have.
Well, I mean, you got Cooper Pratt. I mean, they still have like a Jesus Maid who we'll talk about a little bit later, and they got a few other guys in that system that can kind of pop off. So I mean, they might just kind of be betting on someone really young that, hey, we at least can lock one of these kids up. But you know, anything's possible with. I mean, Cooper Pratt. I mean, Cooper's not even having that great of a year. I mean, he's got 13 games under his belt in AAA. He's batting 200, no home runs, 3 ribbies, 9 walks, 6 strikeouts. 6 stolen bases, but his OPP is 322. Slugging is only 220. His OPS is 542. So I mean, he's to get that kind of a deal, he's not really producing too well.
Yeah.
What about you, Nate? What are you thinking?
I mean, again, the 3 that the 3 big ones. Connor Griffin, I think that was obviously expected. We all know what he's capable of. Kevin McGonigal, obviously also expected. Colt Emerson, also obviously expected. Even though he hasn't reached the majors yet, he's going to soon. And I think there's little to no doubt of what he's going to do once he does get up there. But yeah, kind of like Aiden was talking about, the big one was Cooper Pratt. That was the big surprising one. And it kind of gets your gears turned a little bit for things that I think we'll talk about here in a second. Guys, he is the, I believe, 4th, or if not 5th, 4th ranked prospect in his own organization. Jesus Made is above him. Luis Pena is above him. You also have Jet Williams, who's above him. All of them play the same position that he does, or at very least can. And the notable trend to look at with all 4 of the guys that have signed already, they're all shortstops. I also don't think that's a coincidence.
No, I agree with you as well. I mean, even if you take a look at via the pipeline, I think the top 4, top 5 are all shortstops or middle or infielders. So
top 7.
Yeah, I mean it's a fun time to be an infielder at this point. I mean, to be young, to be look at the money in front of you. Roman, take it away, brother. What else? What can you add to this?
Well, you know what? Cooper Pratt is definitely on my list. However, Colt Emerson is also a bit of a shocker when you take a look at it. Connor Griffith, when he was at least what 2 minutes into his major league journey when he signed the deal. So, and McGonigal at least had 20 days of service time, I think, give or take, something like that. So when you're talking about those names, the one that is most shocking again is Pratt because of his production, because of the aforementioned. But Colt Emerson was somebody that I was originally going to talk about, and then Cooper Pratt came up, and there you go. But I mean, coming from the Rays perspective, which I'm a huge Rays fan. For those of you who don't know, this is how the Rays thrived. Whether you're talking about Blake Snell, whether you're talking about Matt Moore, Evan Longoria, Wander Franco, yes, okay, everyone, let's take a pause. Everyone get their jokes in. Come on. All right, good. All right, we're good. Not you guys, no, at home. But no, so this trend is something that the Rays took full advantage of and helped sculpt a lot of good runs because they're able to manage and mortgage their future and not have to worry about their arbitration game. So best of luck to everybody. But I think just like with every trend, it kind of goes to extreme and then it kind of recorrect itself. So I think the signing of Pratt is a bit of a stretch, but good for him, good for his agent. Best of luck to that gentleman. I just hope it's not too much money too early. So,
oh, absolutely. I mean, let's think of it this way though. There are going to be guys along the way. I mean, a couple of other guys that are in the top 5 are really just sitting in Double-A. And if you want to think of the money that's been thrown out to a Cooper Pratt, a Colt Emerson, what can a Jesus Mate, a Leo DeVries, what can when they get to AAA? What next year? What do you think they can do? You think they're going to 8 years 175, 8 years 200 for guys who haven't? That's not far. That's not a far reach now. I mean, if you watched how the contracts were going, I mean, Connor Griffin won 9 at 140, and then what? It seemed like a week later it was Kevin McGonigal. It was 8 at 150. So. The idea of having 200 is not too far off for guys who usually don't get that kind of money.
My personal interest here, though, I want these contracts to calm down personally because we got Junior Tank Caminero that we're trying to extend. All right, we just don't want him to go. That guy's getting paid 200 and he's not even in the major leagues yet. So we don't want that conversation. Just saying. But no,
the Rays are going to afford him anyway.
We'll see, my friend. We'll see.
It's okay. I feel that pain.
First of all, the Rays have to get a stadium first.
All right, that's pretty. We're not talking Rays talk today, my friend. We're talking minors.
That's right. You're right. You're right.
Yes. We're talking about the roasted minors. Just saying. Just saying. All right. So, but no, I mean, is there anybody out there, just to flip it on its head, is there anybody either from your guys' organization that you guys represent? The Cardinals, we got the Cardinals, the Guards, the Guardians, whoever Mark represents, we don't care. And, of course, the Rays.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. There you go. Oh, boy. Anyways. You have so much in common with half the girls on Tinder. That's great. Congratulations, Mark.
Well, you said you wanted to live my life. Earlier today you said you wanted to live my life. So there you go.
I never said anything close to it. Oh yeah, that's right. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I was being very kind. Mark said, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good. How you doing?" And he goes, "I'm doing great. How you doing?" I go, "I'm trying to do my best impression of you." There you go. Now you guys are caught up in the joke. But no, let's go around the room in terms of, is there like a prospect that you guys would like your team to maybe invest early on to lock down? Let's go Aiden. Aiden, what do you think, man?
I'm thinking Ronio Rodriguez. Dude's mashing it in high A. hitting 360. He's performed at every single level so far, and I feel like he could make the jump fairly easily.
Okay. All right. So Ronio Rodriguez. All right. Guardians pick. What you got, man, Nate?
Well, before I talk about my team, I want to kind of get off of what you were initially asking. If there's a guy we're surprised doesn't have a deal like this, if this is a trend. I mean, I think maybe some people out there could say, and I thought this is where Aiden might go, but JJ Weatherholt is one of that, that top 5 guy that, again, plays in the similar position, can bounce around a lot of places in the infield. He's a guy that can provide some excellent value to the Cardinals in the future, and you don't have him signed to that deal yet as really one of the bigger market teams that has done it. They're a bigger market team than Milwaukee, bigger than Pittsburgh, but 2 teams that are in their same division. You maybe could say they're a little bit bigger than Detroit. In fact, I actually think they're a lot bigger than Detroit, and they're definitely bigger than Seattle. So that to me has been shocking. Out of all the guys that have signed, I thought JJ Weatherholt would get it eventually, and that doesn't seem to be the way right now, at least. Max Clark is another guy, talking about a division rival in the Tigers. I throw a bunch of money at him. Finally, we get to talk about somebody outside of the middle infield, and Max Clark is outstanding. Watching the Guardians prospect farm, you run into Detroit everywhere, single A all the way up to the triple A level. And so I've gotten to see the journey of Max Clark when he was on the West Michigan team last year. That was absurd. That was dynamite. Kid is a stud, and they got to bring him up now, and they got to sign him now. But for the Guardians, I mean, look, everything is going to center around Bazzana, right? Number 1 draft pick from a couple years ago. Nobody at this current juncture is fully happy with what Juan Brito is doing with his chance. Some really bad defense that's being played up there. Ian the Bat has gone cold. Nobody is happy with Bo Naylor, and Cooper Ingle is a guy that's sitting right down there in the minors as well. The reason I like talking about the Guardians farm system is because they truly have an embarrassment of riches. It's such a deep and rich prospect pool that, look, there's someone competing with Bazzana for that spot right now, and his name is Milan Tolentino. You're not going to find him on any top 100 prospect list, but he did just win International League Player of the Week. Cooper Ingle, same thing. You got another guy sitting down there in Double-A by the name of Jacob Kozar. He's also fantastic at the catching position. So Guardians, it's pretty unique, but obviously the conversation is going to surround Travis Bazzana.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those out there, definitely catch his show, Prospects of Land. It is awesome.
Yes.
Do you guys, when's your taping day? Is it every Friday?
Sunday nights.
Like I said, every Sunday night, right? Yeah.
yeah. Got it right the first time.
Of course. I love it. Mark, same question to you. And why do you say Lombard?
You're right. I'm going to say Lombard, but thinking prospect wise, it's got to be George Lombard Jr. I mean, he has all the it factors. I mean, he comes from a baseball family. The thing he needed to work on this after last season was power, and he's coming up, and he's been hitting for power this entire season. He's played 13 games, and he's raking the ball left and right. Right now they have him playing third base because the Yankees' golden boy Anthony Volpe, known as Volpe E6, is playing shortstop for them in his rehabs. And that guy still can't even make a decent throw to first base. I mean, if you guys watch our show, Bronx Muchachos, you will. It is a nonstop rant about how bad this guy is. But I don't want. This is not our normal show, or that I do. We're not going to talk about Volpe E6 anymore. We'll talk about guys like George Lombard. I think George Lombard is the future shortstop for the New York Yankees. But I also believe that if you're actually looking at it quicker and want to have a deal done right now, I think you actually signed Jason Dominguez, who's also tearing it up in AAA. If anybody knows the type of player he is, they were sending him down. He was going to tear it up.
Might there be a name I forgot to add to the Guardians list as well? Chase DeLauder's there. And albeit he's cooled off from his really hot start, You want to talk about a guy that's in the majors right now, kind of like a JJ Weatherholt situation, also top 10 or top 100 prospect in baseball. That's another guy, as a Guardians fan, wouldn't mind them throwing some money at him.
Sure. I'll say this real quick about Bronx Muchachos. Number one, Nate, great take. The thing I like about Bronx Muchachos is you guys do go hot and heavy on your love for Volpe, but you guys do it in unique, original ways almost every single time. It's actually pretty brilliant. So if you guys get a chance, check that out. I'll circle it back with my picks for the Rays. We talked about Junior Caminero, but absolutely Chandler Simpson. I would love to see him locked up. In terms of guys in the lower levels right now, there's kind of a bit of a vacuum, in my opinion, with the Rays. Some of our best looking prospects right now are kind of in that double A advanced Bowling Green area and also in Charleston River Dogs area. And to me, that's a little bit too young to invest in that money. Theo Guillen is a guy who you might want to circle. That's a name to start getting used to. They are in MLB's top 100. So there's this catcher who I love, Nathan Flewelling. He's 19. He's Canadian, and he's doing really well. So just some names to take a look at. And the way how we haven't really had a really good catching prospect since Toby Hall in the Tampa Bay organization. Google it. You're welcome. No problem, Toby. Thank you very much. You're awesome. But the fact that we haven't had anybody like that, if you can find a catcher who's really strong, let's go ahead and lock them up. And Nathan Flewelling, Caden Bodine, a guy that we got from the Shane Boz trade. He's raking, by the way. I think he's at 264 for Jimmy Jacks, but he's kind of repeating the level in low A. So hopefully we'll get him up to high A advance. But yeah, those are my picks. But yeah, any other thoughts, Mark, on this subject before we move on?
No, I think there's a lot of good guys that are out there. I think that if you really want to think about it, I think to have these kind of conversations, I think the conversation has to start at double A. I think high A and the lower, there's still too much volatility. And honestly, also, I mean, it's got to be to lock them up. It's got to be position players. We can't have these conversations about pitchers because, like I just said, the volatility of a pitcher as well. I mean, if we're going to talk pitchers, I mean, Yankees have two studs that are in their AAA right now, and Nelmer Rodriguez and Carlos Lagrange. I mean, those are flamethrowers that'll be there and could be part of a rotation for years to come. But I do believe, it's kind of like looking at international draft. You want to draft up the middle, or even regular draft, MLB drafting or entry draft, shortstops, center fielder, even catchers. Catchers, you might be on the farther side, but definitely shortstops as we're seeing right now. But center fielders, you want to lock those guys up because that's kind of the backbone of what your team is going to be for the long term. So kind of making that quick transition, a couple of middle infielders I definitely want to kind of have a discussion about with you guys are two that are currently sitting in double A right now, and that's Jesus Mate and Leo Tavares. And those two are absolute studs, and they are tearing it up in double A right now. And I can see within another month they're going to make their way up to triple A. Nate, I want to throw this over to you first. Between the two, what do you see out of them both, or which one do you like? Which one do you like more? Which one do you think actually can stick around at the shortstop position?
Well, to me, it's kind of tough because in terms of talking which one is going to stick around longer, for the Brewers, they just signed Pratt, right?
Right, but Pratt doesn't have to stick around at the third position.
Right. And Mate can play both in the middle infield, but it's still tough to discuss when you're talking about a guy that is ranked way higher in the prospect farm and looked upon way more favorably by the Major League Baseball community as, hey, this guy's going to pan out. But you have a guy that just got signed to his position that's way farther down the line than him. And then Leo DeVries, he's got to compete with the guy like Jacob Wilson that's up there with the nameless Athletics right now. So it's pretty tough to determine. But I think Mate is the one that's going to stick better. Here's his slash line this year, by the way. 333 average, 432 on base, 589 slugging. The OPS is at a 1 dot. He's played in 15 games, has 21 hits, has slugged a pair of homers, is an extra base machine. And I personally have seen this guy play. So I'm going to go with that. Maybe a little bit biased. I've not seen Leo DeVries play in person. I've seen Mate play in person, and the kid is special.
Aiden, what about you? What are your thoughts on these two? Or do you have a dark horse that you want to throw into the mix?
I completely agree. I feel like Made's going to do a lot better than DeVries as of right now. Made's shown a lot more. Looking at the stats, Made's shown a lot more than DeVries has. I've watched DeVries a bit, and he's good, but I just feel like Made has like that higher hope of being someone who can contribute every day at the big league level.
Yeah, make that 3 for Mate. In terms of what he has, I'm not overly familiar with him just because leagues that he played in, he hasn't played a lot what I watch, which is the Rays minor league system. I do catch others, so on and so forth, but it's random. So, but Mate, in my opinion, I think is the better. But man, with how stacked they are in shortstop right now, there's going to be some interesting trades somewhere. You're going to see somebody going to get traded at some point for, maybe a now all-star, or not an all-star, but a now major leaguer, someone with major league time who can be solid, something to that accordance. They might get a steal. So it's just something to look at, but that's my 2 cents.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Mate is a little bit younger than Leo, but I don't know. Leo, you got to remember, Leo was the big name in his international class. Like I think they San Diego threw the bag at him. I mean, well, San Diego threw the bag at him, and they threw it at the catcher Ethan Salas too, in back-to-back years. And I mean, to move Leo DeVries to get Mason Miller was a big move to do for the big club of the Padres. Leo's doing too bad this season. I mean, he's batting 339. He's got an OBP of 433, 464 slugging, a 897 OPS. He's got two home runs, 8 ribbies, 9 walks, 13 strikeouts, 6 stolen bases. So I mean, he's keeping pace with Jesus Mate. I mean, it's not like it's Made and then there is a whole lot of emptiness then following DeVries. DeVries is right there. So to take one over the other, I mean, I'm good taking. I would take Mate. I would take DeVries. I wouldn't be shedding a tear having either one of them in my organization, and especially, literally, they're going to be 1-2 within another month, give or take.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna
once Griffin and McConaughey hit that mark. I mean, it's Mate and DeVries.
Yeah, so I mean, I think at that point you're literally, you can have a coin flip for either one, and I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these kids. And Nate, I know you're young, but for a guy like Roman and myself, we can actually call them kids.
Yeah, can't do that. Some of these guys on the prospect list are as old as me, which never developed my game quite that good. So,
well, unfortunately, me and Mark were closer to the coaches. So just to really put it out there. Now, the thing about DeVries that kind of scares me a little bit is because if you take a look at his stats, you were talking about his stat line. This is his first real good stat line in terms of just being solid. So before we put the anointing oil to quote the great coach, whose name obviously eludes me at this current juncture, but before we put the anointing oil on, let's see how he does outside of Double-A. I mean, in terms of a huge investment, Mate to me looks better, just a finished product, whereas DeVries, he's sexy right now, but we've seen the story so many times where a guy has really good AA numbers and then fizzles out. Maybe he gets a cup of coffee, maybe he bounces around, maybe he becomes the next thing that never really pans out, and he's a trivia question. So that's kind of where I'm scared when I just started looking through. Now he could be one of those guys who have really flourished, and now he's found the special sauce and he's going to take it to the next level. So there could be a couple different ways, but that's what I love about minor league baseball is you see guys at different developments where you go, oh man, let's attach our attention to this guy, and then he fizzles out once he sees better pitching. So, but 339 right now in AA is not anything to sneeze at all. Best of luck to him. Keep going, young man.
Oh no, he's doing well. He's doing well. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, out of the top 10. I mean, Nate was talking about before his looks like his man crush over there, Max Clark. I mean, Max Clark is sitting there killing it as well. You know, he's batting three. He's batting 351. I mean, he's only got one home run, but 10 ribbies, 10 walks, 10 strikeouts, 6 stolen bases. He's got an OBP of 416, slugging of 519, OPS of 935. I mean, there's not much left for this guy to do in AAA. I mean, unless it's just a waiting game right now. Unless they're trying to do manipulation because they already signed McGonigal, because they brought McGonigal up. They want to kind of space it out just a little bit more. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of for them. It's Detroit. I mean, they still got a big contract with Javi Baez on their books that they need to kind of start moving.
Yeah, it's also the conversation of what spot does he fill in the outfield, right? Because you're not going to replace Riley Green. You're probably not going to replace Kerry Carpenter. Again, Baez has that big contract. Matt Vierling is there. Detroit's in a weird position because normally you see a team that gets loaded with infielders. They're loaded with outfielders at the major league level right now. And I think that's what's holding Max Clark back. The one thing that I've really liked about him is now obviously in Toledo, he's been with at least 2 teams every year. He's been in the farm system and he's produced everywhere. So it's not just one spot and it's a dream and it all seems too good to be true with Max Clark. You know, something has to be said for when you are consistent. And honestly, in a lot of ways, you get better as you go up the levels. That means he's learning. I think Max Clark is a sponge, but kind of like a lot of the problems that I have with my organizations right now in Cleveland, you just got to try to fit the guy in somewhere.
No, that's also what Max Clark might be. As much as they love him, he might be that trade bait. We were just talking before about the Brewers like having a plethora of middle infielders that one of them could get moved. Max Clark might be the odd man out, and they might move him for a closer. They might move him for another starting pitcher. There's going to be needs, and especially not for nothing, it's a win. That AL Central is a very winnable division. So, he might be that piece. Like they might pull the trigger and say, what, much as it's going to hurt us, but those are kind of the. I always like those. Those are the best deals. Like even if it's your club, you're like it's going to hurt, but I know what the end goal is, and this is what the end goal is to get that chip. And he might be the sacrifice to get the chip.
I mean, here's another reverse: is maybe they invest more into Max Clark, and maybe they get one of their proven veteran guys out there like Riley Green, who won't sign an extension, and then you make a lane for Max Clark. I mean, it's just a great position to be in for an organization like the Detroit Tigers to have that type of wealth in that position to really be able to say, well, if we get a good deal for this guy, let's move him. If we don't, let's sign him. So, I mean, but Max Clark is just another guy that was standing in there who's looking sharp so far. But definitely I am interested to see if that power grows when taking a look at the under the hood numbers. Because he hasn't hit more than 14 home runs in his major league or minor league system. So is that a situation where the power is going to fall? Like, what type of hitter will Max Clark be? What does he profile? Are we seeing that his hitting is going to develop, the power is going to come? We've heard that a few times on guys, James Loney, case in point, and the power never came. So I don't know. Like, again, the same skepticism that I put on DeVries earlier is the same that I'm going to put on Max Clark. Not to be that wet blanket, but when you start looking at these things and talking about a long-term deal and investment like McGonigal, like the guys that we've been talking about, we really got to forecast a big net here and see what are we investing our money into? What are we getting? Because there's some teams that when you make that investment, they can't miss. They can't miss at all. So will a big guy like Max Clark, will he stand the test of time? Like he's definitely a sexy pick, but when we start digesting, should we be concerned that Max Clark only has 1 home run at this point?
I don't think so, just because he's not a big guy. Like he's 5'11", he's 205. The power was never a big projection for him. Like on the 20/80 scale, excuse me, he's a 50 when it comes to the power. So 10 to 15, maybe upwards. I mean, 18, I think is probably a good max number for him. No pun intended. But I think, a 10 spot throughout the years is fine. When he hits the big leagues, puts on a little bit more muscle. Yeah, 10 to 15, I think, and he can make a good career. He can have a solid career out of it. I mean, he's kind of like, not to say he's this player, but he's like a Jacoby Ellsbury, where a lot of his game is predicated on his legs, where his speed is his calling card. So he's going to be havoc on the base paths. He can track down anything in the outfield. He's got a decent enough arm that he can make some plays interesting. So I think he's going to be speed and defense. And if he can bat 300 for a career 300 hitter, I mean, you're looking at 50 plus. I can see 50 plus stolen bases, and that's where his value is going to come in. So he'll get the money up front. For him, he might not get long-term deals, or if he gets a long-term deal, it'll be early on, kind of being the guy in the group of signing early. But that's kind of where it's at, because I can see him becoming like he's on the tip. Wow, I forget his name, but I'm actually can see him run. He was one of the fastest guys in Major League Baseball in the past 10 years. And we kept jumping from team to team. He was on Kansas City for a while. It'll come to me because I'm completely blanking. But
Terrence Gore? What?
No.
No.
Oh, center fielder for I see him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reds and Royals.
Yes,
former Brewer.
Billy Hamilton.
That's it. Yeah.
He wasn't on the Royals for a while. He was a Red.
He was on the Reds, but he made his way to the
He
Royals.
played for the Royals too.
He played for everybody at some point.
Felt like it.
Yeah, but I didn't say. I couldn't say like, he went around to every single team.
Mark, you describing Max is kind of the way that I think a lot of Clevelanders are feeling about Bazana right now. Should you be concerned he's only got the 1 home run? I don't think so. Again, he's only 5'11". He barely gets the 200 pounds. Barely. You have to hook a little weight vest on him in order for him to get there.
They weigh him in after he had a big steak dinner is what they did.
Yeah. The concern with me for Bazana is the RBIs and the fact that he's not driving home runs. He's only got 5 this year. So that's the concern with me before you call Bazana up. And the Guardians are always one of the organizations that are going to be testy with their fans anyway, because what the fans want is not how the organization thinks. Roman, you probably know this with the Tampa Bay Rays too. But for Travis Bazana, I think be patient. His time is going to come, and you'll see him up there as well. Kind of like, Max Clark. I think be patient. His time is going to get up there. A lot of these other guys sitting at the AAA level. Oh, goodness, there's one. Walter Jenkins in Minnesota especially. Boy, I thought that guy would be up by now. But the Twins ended up signing a bunch of veteran guys and somehow are keeping their heads above water right now. If that continues, maybe you call up a young guy like Walter Jenkins and see what you can have. Fill him into the outfield with Buxton. Same thing with the Miami Marlins and Thomas White. They just had Owen Casey get up to the major league level. Obviously, he's been a trade piece for a bunch of different organizations, and you hope he can find a home there in Miami. But Thomas White, a guy right there from the pitching standpoint, to where, okay, Miami, they're not looking the greatest right now. Maybe you try him out and see what you got. So just one of those instances there with Bazana and Clark that I think you can look at and say, that there are a few things that they can improve on. Once they do that, their time will come, and they just got to be ready for it. Bryce Eldridge in San Francisco. That's another one.
So here's my counter to Bonzana versus Max Clark comparison is Bonzana plays second base. And for the most part, you're not expecting that type of power unless you're Brandon Lau, apparently, to come from your second baseman. Correct. Now, with Max Clark, you're looking a little bit more consistency. And also a counterpoint that I have, and then I want to get Aiden's take on maybe Max Clark or anything having to do with this in a second. But real quick on Bonzana, because I haven't studied his games up there your way, but is he, because RBIs are a construct of the guys around him. Are the pieces coming in? How's he doing with runners on second and third, less than one out? Is he choking? Like what's this?
Bazana just can't drive in runs. The Clippers have got pieces that get on base. I mean, Petey Halpin is a speedy outfielder. That man, when he gets on base, he'll swipe the extra bag. You just heard me say Milan Tolentino, a guy that can play the infield and a little bit of the outfield, but mainly an infielder. He plays the shortstop right there in the middle infield with Bazana. Just looked 4 homers last year. So Bazana's just not taking home those opportunities. Does have a walk-off this year, which, okay, nice, but not taking advantage of those opportunities with guys on base, just in any sense, really.
Okay.
Had one game where it happened, and, of course, then had the walk-off, just slugged his first homer, but I believe it was a solo shot. So...
All right. Well, hey, those are just questions I have in my head as a fan. Definitely, he looked really sharp in WBC. I was really impressed by what he had. But the WBC, what we saw, should have a tiny bit of an asterisk because of the playing level of the opposing pitchers on some of the squads. Some of the guys that are playing wouldn't make some of our single A teams. But it was nice to see him on a bigger stage in front of a big crowd and really show out. If I was a Guards fan, which I'm not, no offense, but
thank you.
But Aiden, I haven't heard from you in a while, my friend. What are your takes on any of the subjects, my friend? Any comps to Cardinals fans having our Cardinal farm guys who have a low power outage, but it has some promise? What do you got, man?
Joshua Baez. I think he's ready, but he's only got the average isn't there. He's only had 3 home runs, but he does drive in runs. OPS is a little low. So like if he makes that push, think he can get to where if he brings up that power a bit more and gets consistently more hits, I feel like he can get to where he's able to be called up as well. And I think Max Clark is almost there. It's just that one little push he needs, and he'll be there.
Yep, I agree.
So when you say push, do you mean like a Nancy Kerrigan type of, like a Tanya Harding type push, where he just walks out and, one time, blow. Google it if you don't want to. Mark, get me off this crazy train, man.
Oh boy, yeah, you ride that crazy train a lot.
Hey man,
just
when you spend 82 games watching in a dome, you tend to be a little bit, sheltered with your opinions. Okay, just saying.
You're a little closed off with some of your thoughts. Just a little bit. I'll say this, but I think that I was about to really just butcher Pizzano. I'm going to say it again. Travis. I'm going to call him Travis because I can't even pronounce his last name. But Travis. I think that I'm not Pizzana because I can't say it anymore. Because
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll never make fun of somebody mispronouncing a name, dude. You're good.
Yeah. I think, when you look at him and you look at the body of work for him, you don't need the RBIs for a guy like that. I think that he's going to be your number one, number two, lead off, second, number two kind of guy in the lineup. You want him on base. You want him moving around. Ergo, what I'm thinking like a Max Clark can be. If I can, bring this over to the wonderful Yankee organization that's out there. We can talk about there's two guys that the Yankees have in shortstop, middle infield, George Lombard Jr. He is kind of, up until this past year, he was kind of along those same lines where it's not a lot of power. It's not a lot of hitting. It's a lot of more singles, and it's coming. The rest of it's coming. Now George Lombard Jr. put on the good weight. He's actually turning into a better hitter. He's hitting a lot for power as well. And as I said, his slugging is pretty good. I mean, this year alone, and this is kind of like, I don't want to say it's an outlier, but it's a better thing for him. He's batting .365 this year in 13 games. His OBP is .433. He's got a .654 slugging and a 1.087 OPS. That's with 3 home runs, 9 ribbies, 7 walks, 12 Ks, and 3 stolen bases. He's got out of his 19 hits, 6 of the, he's got, like I said, three home runs, and 6 of them are doubles. So the other 10 are singles that he's hitting. So he's getting on base. He's doing some damage when he can get the ball. And for a guy like Lombard Jr., I mean, one of them is off of Zach Wheeler. Having a home run off of rehabbing Zach Wheeler is not a bad thing to put on your resume. So I think that not every middle infielder, not every player is the same. Like we can't always kind of put everybody into the same bracket of, oh, well, we need to hit 20 home runs. We need to have 70 RBIs. Like they're just not everyone's built the same way. And I think Bazzana is the type of guy that's built more for, let me get on base. Let me be the table setter. Let me do the damage this way. I don't have to drive everybody in. And if that's something that the Guardians are kind of pushing him to be, they might have kind of miscalculated who he is in essence, and they're the ones that are kind of like trying to knock a square into a round hole.
I would agree in that sense. I don't think that that's going to necessarily be his game. You're going to want to get him on the base path, use his speed, use his level of defense at second base. However, the only counter I have to that is, you taking a look at some of the lineups that Cleveland has thrown out there recently, like the offense has got to come from somewhere. And for as high a prospect and high caliber a bat as Bazzana is, I mean, I'm sorry, 5 RBIs is not going to cut it. And I know that that's not his game. You can have this conversation with Steven Kwan too, right? The guy that's been at the major league level forever. Yeah. We know that's not his game. He's the leadoff hitter. He gets on base. We need to bring him home. But getting an RBI here and there every now and again is not a bad thing. So I think just a little bit more from Bazzana, and it would at least secure my taste. I know a lot of the fans are ready for him to be up yesterday, but I think working that bat a little bit more and being able to drive some more of those opportunities home, I think will make him deeply invaluable.
And he become the fan favorite for the Guardians. I still, after all these years, I still can't. I almost keep calling him the old name.
So my dad does too.
Well, in everyone's defense, I was born before 1995. We did have a pretty awesome movie that kind of bred us and indirectly kind of made us subtly want to be, fans of the tribe. Just saying.
And there was a sequel movie.
Yeah,
sequel sucks. Sequel sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, it's actually there was a third one too, mind you.
Yeah, there was a trilogy.
There was a third one.
I was about to say there's a trilogy, and at one point, Charlie Sheen was talking about making a 4th one back in the day, and then he started drinking Tiger's blood. So,
hey, listen, man, he was winning. Just remember that.
Hey, I teed that one up for you, buddy. Thanks for making solid contact. I appreciate it. I was hoping someone would take the winning joke and
Throw a
run with it.
meatball.
Come on now.
Yeah, but no, I mean, definitely a good topic of that. Now, also on the board, we want to talk about the top 100. Is that what we're doing, Mark?
Well, I think we could round out the rest of the top 10.
Okay.
Obviously we got Aiden here. I mean, he touched on JJ Weatherholt before, and we were talking about Max Clark, but if you want to talk a little bit more about JJ Weatherholt, and then we can talk a little about Eli Willits, excuse me. And then we can call it, take it down from that point. So Aiden, why don't you give us a little bit more on JJ? I mean, he's in the majors right now. I mean, he's kind of in between of what McGonigal and Connor Griffin are doing. So I mean, should we be expecting from JJ?
JJ's impressed me a lot. The average doesn't tell the full story, in my opinion. Already hit 3 home runs since opening day. The strikeouts and the walks are pretty similar. It's 14 walks to 19 strikeouts. He drives in runs. He does that very well. Basically the opposite of what Travis Lozano is doing. He's definitely impressed me. I think obviously the average can go up. Obviously, we want him to gun for Rookie of the Year. I think just with his production is pretty good in my opinion.
What's his best position?
He's a shortstop by trade, but we have him sitting at second base because we have Mason Wynn at shortstop, our Gold Glover. I feel like he could play shortstop on Mason Wynn's off days. I feel like Mason Wynn needs some off days after his rough patch recently, but that's how I'm looking at JJ. I feel like we need to lock him down. I wasn't mentioning it earlier because I thought it was like a no-brainer, but we do need to lock him down. Give him just try and I think he can get there. I think he'll be around like a 270 hitter eventually. That's my hope. I don't want to go too high because I know a lot of people are, and then I'm gonna get disappointed.
So if you were to take JJ right now, you want to lock him in. You got the numbers out there of Connor Griffin 9 and 140. You got Kevin McGonigal 8 150. Where are you taking? What are you giving JJ? You gonna split the difference? Go 8 145. You're gonna go 8 160. You're gonna try to go bigger. Go 8 160. 9 160.
I think we go 8 150. Just right there.
Oh, he's just keeping it exactly with what McGonigal has, huh?
Yeah. I feel like he can be as good as McGonigal can. McGonigal is really good. Really, really good. Nothing to take away from him. I think he's better than JJ, but I feel like JJ can play at that level. I've seen him do it. I live near Memphis. I saw him playing all the time last year. Great guy. Love him. And I really think he's going to do well.
All right, and then I guess to round out the top 10, we're not talking about Trey Savage, someone, and not because he's on Toronto or anything like that, but he's recovering from injury, and he's not really going to be he's a prospect, but he's not a prospect. I mean, when you're pitching in the World Series, you've kind of already made the hump. You're not going to be going back to the minor leagues per se. But Eli Willits, I mean, Nationals have a lot going for them. Eli Willits, another shortstop that's coming around. I mean, he's an A-ball right now. He's in 15 games. He's only batting 217, 2 home runs, 7 ribbies. He's got 13 walks with 15 Ks, 12 stolen bases. Low A-ball. I mean, A-ball, anything underneath really double A, you're expecting I expect a lot of stolen bases from the guys. His OBP is 356, slugging at 417, and the OPS of 773. This is kind of for a top 10 prospect. He's kind of a type of guy that you want to have around you. Nationals have a lot of things going for them. Nationals have a lot of prospects along the way. Some have hit, some haven't. I mean, they got Harry Ford, who should be coming around the corner for them. I mean, they still got plenty of outfielders in that are young. I mean, this is gonna Nationals can probably, if you want to talk about teams that probably should probably sign people for the long term now. I mean, Nationals are the guys that should do it. I mean, they got James Woods, you got Dylan Cruz there too. I mean, those are two guys. Those are two cornerstones you can have for your team and just go with it. So,
Absolutely. Now the thing about Willits, which is a little bit, gives me a little bit of, I guess, frightened. Makes me a little frightened. Is he's repeating a level.
Mm-hmm.
He's repeating a level, and typically speaking, especially when you're repeating a level like Caden Bowden for the Rays, who's repeating the level but with a different team. Charleston, he was with Delmarva last year with briefly with the Orioles, but he's excelling, and Willits is not. He's taking a big step back. Yes, granted it's early. Granted he's young. All that fun jazz, but when you're talking about investments, because I think that's the overall point of this episode is the investments into the future, right? Something like that. Those are things that kind of start to scare you a little bit, because where is his developed something? Can he not catch up with this level? What is it to say moving forward? Things like that. So that's something that definitely is some red flags. Now, we've seen it time and time again where guys, whatever reason, kind of find that next gear. Maybe they start heating up come All-Star break time, come July, and really turn it on. But it's still something that you definitely don't want to see a repeat. The Rays guy Braden Taylor, who was completely horrible last year for Double-A Montgomery, and he was doing very well in the minors up to that point. And he's starting to pull it together a little bit finally this year. But if he was having another regression, that would be basically it, where the organization starts moving on and looking at other options. So, but
I'm going to push back on you. I'm going to push back on the repeat of the level, because he was drafted. Don't forget, he was drafted. Willits was drafted last year.
Yeah.
All right. He was the first round draft pick for Washington too, and he only played 15 games last season in A-ball. So it's not where it's a repeat. It's not a repeat of, say, like, hey, I did right. It's not like, hey, I did like 60 games here and having to repeat it all. It's he got a cup of coffee at the end of the season last year, and now he's really kind of diving in, because if you look at the numbers, the year over year from the 15 games, his slugging has vastly improved. His OPS is up there. He's had more. He's gotten more at bats in 15 games now than he did last season. Yeah, he's got a couple less hits, but his power numbers are up. He's got 4 doubles to 1 double last year. He's got 2 home runs to none. He's seeing the ball, so he's walking better. He's striking out, and he's stealing more. He's stolen a lot more bases, stole 10 more bases than he did last year. So,
all right,
I think overall it's kind of like, he's probably gotten a lot of unlucky hits or unlucky swings and unlucky bat to ball, but I don't see him sticking around this level past June, even with the numbers the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me flip it back to you. What if the years were reversed? What if his first season coming out of the draft, he hit 217 in his cup of coffee, and now he's hitting 300? I
mean, yes, he's doing. Yes, if he is, his batting average is better. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the rest of the numbers, his OPS is better now. His slugging is better now. His OBP, it's a little bit less, mm-hmm. but there's a give and a take. But the OPS and the slugging, means that he did the work in the offseason to start showing that he's a stronger player.
We also have to remember these are such small sample sizes, then because minor league players, they can get up to like 400 at bats depending on what levels they stay at, what levels they go up to. So we have to take in consideration that this is such a small sample size that he could just be in a slump. They could just not be doing it right now.
Okay. No, that's a solid counter argument. Nate, I haven't heard from you in a minute, man. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, I think there are some guys that we're not talking about here at the top. Sebastian Walcott is one of them, but I don't really worry about Willits too much.
Okay.
You know, I think he's in an organization that's going to do the best for him in the Nationals, and I think the Nationals' problem lies at the major league level. I think they got to nab some of these guys, like I believe Mark you had mentioned. They got to nab guys like James Wood. They got to lock down some of these younger pitchers that they've got there too. Willits, I don't really worry about. And the repeating level thing, I see a lot as a Guardians fan with injuries, like Jason Churio has been in the lower levels forever. That's Jackson's brother. You take a look at Daniel Espino. Oh, my goodness. He's been in Columbus, it feels like, his entire life. Same thing with George Valera before he finally got called up last year. So I don't really have an opinion one way or the other about repeating levels. You know, minor league rosters change all the time. It would concern me if, you know, one of these guys was doing it, you know, year over year. But, you know, the fact that Willits, look, he played 15 games last year. He's got 15 games in this year. And yeah, the numbers don't look great right now. But I think we got to be patient and wait and see on him. Again, he's a 18-year-old shortstop prospect. You know, he's up there with the Jesus Mate as one of the younger guys that's sitting this high up on the list.
Yeah.
Another guy is Juan Brito. I've been watching him a bit, and he's been in Columbus for a while, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, and I mean, really just seems like the theme for Cleveland is if you can stay healthy, you'll find your way there eventually. Juan Brito couldn't stay healthy. George Valera couldn't stay healthy. Daniel Espino still can't stay healthy. So, it's one of those things I think that gets overlooked with prospects too. Willits, same thing. Well, maybe not Willits. Sebastian Walcott mainly is that name up there, the number 6 overall prospect in Major League Baseball. Just stay healthy. If you can stay healthy for as good as a player as you are, you'll keep climbing up the ranks. And rest is history from there, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree with you more on that one.
Agree. We have a guy named Tink Hentz. He's been stuck in Double-A for like 4 years because of injuries.
Yeah, that's Jackson Churio brothers Jason's problem right now. Jason just cannot stay healthy down there, and finally starting to explode in Lake County, which is our single A affiliate. So finally starting to push something in the right direction there. But really, for like a lot of these guys that are going to sit in the lower levels, Ethan Holiday, shortstop prospect for the Rockies, comes to mind. Some of these guys that are in the NL Central teams. I mean, a ton of guys that are sitting down there for really anybody. You mentioned Raynel Rodriguez there for the Cardinals, the catching prospect. He's, sitting down there at the very low level. Just stay healthy, come up. Look at Chase DeLauder, too. You want to mention Juan Brito. Let's look at the Guardians. Chase DeLauder. I had an internship in Akron in 2024, coming off of a foot injury. First game back, played 4 innings, and trying to make a play in right field, injured the other foot. So that's how fickle some of these things can be, man.
Ooh. Oh, man. Now, the Rays have a guy kind of like that, Abreu Guerrero. Who was a legend essentially coming out of Dominican League. He can't stay healthy. I think the most he's played is 60 games, and he has a lot of promise. Right now he's hitting a $140, I believe, or lower last time I checked. But he's another guy who, again, health. But that's the beauty of the minor leagues, is it really does have you work on that attrition. Because at the end of the day, it's such a huge investment that these clubs are putting into you. They want to make certain that you can ride as close to 162 as possible. So, I mean, this game is full of, I think the average major leaguer lasts less than 2.5 years, I think. So, and there's a reason. So, being healthy is yes, sir, 100%, absolutely.
What's the best ability?
Availability.
So,
I heard someone say it.
So real quick, Nate, you gave some love to Mr. Sebastian Walcott. Why don't you roll with that? What do you got on him?
Yeah, I mean, so Sebastian Walcott hurt currently right now, but is still a top-ranked prospect in baseball. Taking a look at what he's been able to do, you've seen the extra base hits die, but the power is growing. That's increasing the RBIs. He's being more patient at the plate. Getting on base more means he's stealing more bags, which he's capable of. And I think you're seeing those little improvements with Sebastian Walcott. We talk all the time about big leaping jumps, like boom, this guy took a huge step this year, and that's why he's where he's at in the rankings. With Sebastian Walcott, it's just that consistent excellence that you see, and it's nothing flashy, but it's something that, look, he gets to the major league level and hits 255 with a 741 OPS with 13 homers and 70 walks, steals 32 bags. That's going to be good production for a Texas team still itching to try to get back even into the playoffs after that World Series run. So I think Walcott can provide some good value, and he's probably in the best AA league in a team like the Frisco Rough Riders. That AA league has got some talent.
Texas League is scary.
Yeah, it is.
But the one thing about Walcott that he's pretty much gonna be losing this year of development because he had the internal brace surgery. So and who knows how that's gonna be if he was playing short, he spending time at third base, shortstop. So I mean, will that have any effect on him going forward? Will third base now become out of the equation for him? So he's gonna have some question marks coming back, especially. And then having to kind of rebuild the swing, rebuild the throw, and there's a lot of things. It's not to say it's not easy, because Tommy John surgery is kind of a rite of passage these days. But
he DHs a lot as well, even before the injury. So they could just be going with that as well.
So I got another name out there. It's just missing the top 10 of the top 100 list. Who's doing pretty well. Josu De Paula. Josue De Paula?
I think it'd be Josue.
Okay, yeah. Josue. You know what? Just take my Latin card away from me. You're good. You're good. Yeah. But Josue De Paula. Again, he's a variation of Max Clark, if you think about it. He's hitting 333, 1 home run, 10 RBIs. But he's a guy that I remember hearing in the Dom Rep League a couple years back when I was following some of the Rays guys. So he was a guy that they said, hey, check this guy out. And during that time period, he hit 340 something, I think, through 50 some odd games for the Dom Rep League. So he's a guy that I think that should get a little bit of love, but in that stock Dodgers organization, he's probably going to be a guy that'll be a part of a trade to add another arm or add some sort of talent. So if you're out there, be familiar with Josue, because he could be in your minor league system for one of your major league parts. Just saying.
Hey, you never know. I mean, someone sent me a message. I don't know how the truth behind it all, but the Dodgers were checking in with the Padres on Mason Miller. So,
if it's Andrew Friedman, yes, yeah. I mean, he same stuff that he did back when he was in Tampa is the same stuff he's doing now. He just has a lot more money.
Oh yeah.
So,
but
God bless
I
him.
mean, but if you think about it, I mean, why not have take a kid like that, have him as at least your second, could be the focal point, could be the number 2 piece in a Mason Miller deal. Mason Miller, especially right now, could restack your entire farm system. I mean, he pretty much he did a number for the A's. Why not flip it again? I mean, don't forget, you're talking about Andrew Friedman, but you got to remember who's on the other side, the Padres. He's a wheeler and dealer.
I mean,
he's dealt about everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much after he got Cronenworth from the Rays, we pretty much stopped taking his phone calls. It's like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
we're good. We're good.
I think a lot of teams might follow you up on that list.
but we're the Rays. No one outbests us on trades. Heesh. You know, I mean, Tobias Myers turned out well. Never mind. Yeah, moving on. But no,
moving on.
yeah, no. To my Tobias Myers fans out there for Junior Cabanero, no, rats.
Going,
I don't even know where
going
he's
once,
at
Bueller,
right now.
Bueller.
All right. Fair. Hey, but you guys are doing great with Kyle Manzardo. You're welcome, by the way. Yeah. Ish. But no, man. So that's
Dude
just
is
the name of
not
that one.
patient at all.
No, not at all. Mark, what else you got, my friend?
No, I think for our maiden voyage, I think that's gonna wrap. I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Want to thank
Alright.
everyone. I want to thank everyone for joining the panel tonight. Thank everyone who was stopping by and was watching tonight. Can't wait to keep doing this. You'll catch us every Monday night, same time, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. I'll bring some more guys. Keep the main crew here, and then add some pieces along the way. So hopefully we'll be catching you every single Monday from this point forward. For Aiden, Nate, Roman, myself, Mark, Dirt Roads, the Bright Lights, signing off.